Do you want to learn how to draw this awesome little Tweety Bird? If so, please like, subscribe, and share the video. And grab yourself some paper to draw on, a pencil to make your doodle with, an eraser to erase any mistakes that you might make, and a marker to outline your doodle when you were done. Get all those supplies, some crayons, some markers, some colored pencils, or some paint, and let's get started. Let's get drawing our Tweety Bird. So we are going to make our paper nice and tall and skinny, which is vertical. And we are going to start by making the big round shape for Tweety Bird's head. I'm going to go ahead and come out and around. And it does kind of come to a point and curve around and in. Not really a point, but it's going to come up kind of like an egg and down and in. So we have the rounded shape there, and then his cheeks kind of poof out. So he does have some cheeks that kind of come out, and on both sides. So we're gonna have those cheeks kind of puff out. And let's go ahead and add in his beak. So right here in the middle of this cheek area, we're gonna go ahead and do a curved line and a curved line. And this would kind of almost make an oval shape if we continued it. And then I'm gonna go up and down, and then down and up. So we create that weird little round thing, and then we've got his beak. So we do a line right in the middle. So kind of like a rounded V, very flat hill here, two curves, and you've got his mouth. Now right up above those open sections, we're gonna go ahead and do two slightly curved lines, a little more on the straight side. Now these are the base of his eyeballs. His eyes are gonna go out, up, and around. So they are going to be smaller here at the base, and they go out and get bigger and come back in. So nice big eyes, big cartoony eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and add in his eyelashes. So he's got about 3 eyelashes. And yes, Tweety Bird is a boy, look it up. And then I'm gonna go around, nice big oval here, nice big oval there. And then we're gonna do the same thing in the middle here. So nice big oval and nice big oval. My marker is about to be retired. Let's go ahead and color in this middle part of this eye. I can't talk today. The pupil here, make it nice and black. So you should have 3 sections. So you should have the white part, his baby blue part of his eye, and then the black middle section. All right, we're gonna retire this marker. It has seen better days. So we are going to just tell it thanks for its service. And we're gonna drop it into the trash can. Okay, let's try this one. Brand new, look at that tip, love it. All right, now we are going to come down on each side here. So we're gonna leave just a little line coming in, and we're gonna come in. So his neck is gonna come in at an angle here. So we start to go from really big, almost bobblehead look to skinnier neck, and then a tiny body. So now right here, we're gonna curve around, just curve down a little bit. This is maybe an inch. And this is gonna be his arm. So we're gonna come all the way down. And right here, we're gonna come inward. Thinner here, this is his wrist. So we have his arm here, his little wrist here. And this is kind of going to be a tricky part to explain. So we're going to make a curve here for his chest. Let's start with that. And then we're going to curve down and around. And here we're going to curve out for his tush. And we're going to match up with that line from his back. He's got a nice tail, little teardroppy shape. Make him his little tail there. And then right here, you're gonna come down and around with kind of like a square or a rectangle shape. And you're gonna do the same thing over here. And these are kind of, this would be the bottom of the fur leading down into his legs. Very common for older cartoons to have that. And we're gonna curve down and we're gonna curve out. So this is his little foot. and it is big. So there's one toe. And we're gonna come around with the other one and finish it off there. So we got one foot. And this foot, same thing. We're gonna come down and this one is gonna start to curve out. Really big. So we're gonna do this part first. And then we're gonna come around with this other side and finish it off. So he's got both of his big feet. Now this is the part I was saying was a little complicated. So this part's gonna come down. And in here, we're gonna come in. And I have this like circle space right here. We're gonna have his fingers are gonna be interlocking with one another. So we kind of have to be able to make that drawing without it looking super weird. So you're kind of going to go like a zigzag, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it. But you're gonna go up and in and up and in, kind of like a rounded, instead of a sharp zigzag, kind of like a rounded zigzag. And then over here, we're just gonna make a curve and it's gonna come down like that. So it looks kind of like his fingers are interlocking. Not the best, but it is what it is. Okay, and then he's got kind of like a curved line up here for an eyebrow and a curved line here for an eyebrow. And then he's got a couple little pieces of hair. So we can go ahead and add in just those little tiny hair pieces. I'm gonna kind of, oh shoot, I didn't mean to double them up that much, but looks like a hair commercial, like when they zoom in on the hair follicle. There we go. So we'll double up those, make them nice and thick. So there we go, we've got our little Tweety Bird. Now we can color. Now Tweety Bird is gonna be pretty easy because we can use marker on Tweety Bird. He's very solid. He doesn't have a lot of different colors going on. There's not really going to be a lot of value. So we can go ahead and we can color in his beak with orange. And we can color in his little feet. Well, they're not really little. It's got like clown feet for a bird. Birds' feet are pretty small. Remember, use that angle of your marker, color it in. Do the same thing over here. Go slower around those bigger areas, and then if you go faster, it really fills in fast if you use the angle there. Okay, so now we've got Tweety Bird's, whatever. We got his face and his, or his beak and his feet. I'm gonna use a light blue crayon because I don't have a marker kind of that baby blue. I don't want his eyes to be super dark. And I'm gonna color really dark. So hard and dark. I want it to really fill in for his eyes. And then we can use the yellow to finish off. Okay, so there's that. Put that away. And now I'm going to use just a regular old yellow. And we're going to color in all the rest of our little Tweety Bird. So I like to outline first. And then I can go really fast middle sections. So like right here, I can quickly color that in because I've already added a buffer for any mistakes if I colored outside. Okay, there's that. And his little fingers. All right, now around his eyes. So I'm gonna go around the eye. This is what I mean by kind of making an outline. That's just kind of my little buffer zone. Down here, I probably would go fast and make a mistake, so I'm gonna go a little slower. Oh, see how that bled? If you go over washable marker with washable marker, you're gonna get bleed. So right here, I've got a little bit of orange that I just took right out of the beak by accidentally touching a small area and it bled. So it is definitely smarter to do all your light colors first and then your dark colors. That way, if you do pull and bleed, you're going to pull the lighter color to a dark, and it's probably going to cover it up and you won't even notice. But right here now, I've got a little bit of a weird orange area. But I'm still thinking I'm going to add a little bit of value to him, even though it's not necessary, because he's pretty much done, to help kind of fix up some of those areas and just make him look a little more, bring him a little more to life. So I'm going to get a dark brown. Or a red. I think I'm going to use dark brown though, but you can use dark brown or red. And we're going to add a little shadow down where his yellow feathers would go onto his orange feet. And just a little bit right there where that area would overlap and come down. A little bit behind the toes on his feet. and then a little bit underneath the feet, so at the very base. And I'm starting with the orange first because it should be dry. The paper should have already absorbed the water from the markers, and it is going to take me coloring on top, whereas the yellow is still probably pretty wet and still needs to dry. And then right here, I'm gonna do the same thing. And you could tell just by touching your paper, this has kind of a wet feel to it up here. This is dry down here. So you can definitely tell, you can feel kind of the bumpiness of your paper. It's pretty obvious. All right, so now I'm gonna take a light orange, and since down here is dry, I'm gonna go ahead and add in a little bit of value. Down here on the bottom, a little bit of value there, under his arm. Remember, anything that's overlapping or where you hit the end. So you could do it right here where it curves. But anywhere, definitely wherever something is overlapping or on top of something else, you want that shadow. That is definitely a necessity. Just kind of throw it on both sides there, okay? And then since I messed up here, we'll add a little bit there to kind of, I added way too much marker there. It's still not dry. Didn't even color. Okay, and we'll come down and around by Tweety Bird's head. Tweety Bird was so popular when I was little. So popular. I liked Sylvester the cat a little bit more than the Tweety Bird. I wasn't quite a fan. But I did have a lot of friends. I remember they used to ask me to draw Tweety Bird on their notebooks when I was younger. So that's what we did. That's what we did in life. Oh, the Tweety Birds. Okay. Give him a little color here to his cheeks. And he is pretty done. So see now how the crayon is actually showing up there? That's because that's a little drier. Okay, I'm gonna go around his eyes just a little bit. Again, to try to fix my mistake of bringing that marker over, that not dry marker. All right, so look at him, he is super cute. Little Tweety Bird. Kind of brings the 90s nostalgia back a little bit there. If you were a 90s kid, you should probably know what Tweety is, maybe. I don't know. All right, there he is. Let's add a little darker blue, I think, into his eyes. So I'm gonna add just a little bit here. Could just use a little bit. That's so baby blue. There we go. Look at how cute. Oh, I love him. Okay, look at our Tweety Bird. I hope you had fun doodling Tweety with me today. If so, please like, subscribe, and share the video. And I can't wait to see you again next time. Have a great day. Goodbye.